Hi, Great Hens. Okay, we are having to move to solo poetry because, as you know, we were going to do the choral verse because of our studies with the Greek chorus, but because of online stuff, we're not going to be able to get together and do choral verse, so we're going to do solo poetry. Now, as you know, poetry we learn right from primary school days. The first thing you usually get asked to do is to write a poem. And it's all about the voice. So when we're training you for poetry, we often do just that. You're going to just use the voice and not the body at all. Some poems allow for body work as well. Now, for instance, in the Trinity exams, if you're doing the speech and drama exam, you would need to do it straight. So what happens there is you would stand and your feet would be slightly apart and hands at the side, and you would say the poem directly without any movement using only the voice. But if you're doing the performance art exam for Trinity, you would be able to dramatize it exactly how you want. 'Twas on a Monday morning, the gas man came to call, that sort of thing. So you would characterize and do everything like that. Some auditions as well, that if you're going to go into professional theatre and be doing auditions, you need to establish with the people who are holding the auditions whether they want straight poetry or dramatized poetry. That's always very important. And with any of these school competitions as well, always get that information first and foremost. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the poems that I've given you. You've each got your individual poems. Some are narrative, some are lyrical, and some are sonnets. I've given Audrey, you've got the Shakespearean sonnet. You know that's written in the iambic pentameter. I know that Sharon has been going through the theory notes on that for you. And then so it's written, the first 12 lines establish it, and then the next 2 lines, it's always 14 lines, the next 2 lines will give you the conclusion for that sonnet. I'm not going to go into all the iambic and everything because that's grade 11 work, but just so that you know you are doing a sonnet. And then Hannah, you're also doing a sonnet, but you're doing the Italian or Petrarchan sonnet. And that is slightly different, and that it's written in quatrains, and then what they do is establish the thought pattern right throughout. Okay, the lyric poem, as it says, it's lyrical. It's a type of poetry which expresses emotions, and often it starts with an I. It's narrated as if it's there with the person speaking it. It's about their emotions. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky. So that would be the lyrical. Then the narrative poem is the poem that tells the story. 5 ways to kill a man. There are many cumbersome ways to kill a man, and it would tell the story of the ways to kill a man. So that is telling a story, and often they use narrator voices and other character voices within the poem. So those are the different types that you have been given here, and I want you to explore. And now we're going into some examples of your poetry. Okay, enjoy.